Welcome to Rappin' Reviews number 3, over a beat that's sorta summary. It's this beat that I just can't stop, so a tip of the hat to my friend Klopfenpop, who provided this sample, which is an example of ample, summery feeling you can do with a breeze. Now let's go to a game with ease. This game I want to talk about today is a one I recently got a chance to play. It's called Flea Market by Leo Colavini. If you hadn't heard of him, you're probably a weenie, because he makes games that aren't just a stop and mission, but more a combination of cooperation and competition. That's right, that's something that he does in his sites. It's the kind of game where you just can't play the board, but the other players cannot be ignored, because it's always very interactive, or at the least somewhat reactive. Let's give him another chance to move on the board to advance to the other names on the box top. I gotta move on before I stop, because there's Funfair and Mayfair. That is the publisher, distributor, and hey there. Let's talk about what's in the box. I think we should. There's no shocks. There's a board and cardboard tokens. Yeah, that's the things of which I've spoken. For doing what they do, they suffice. Most of the rest of the game is dice. There's 2 for each player in a color over there, and also 3 white dice for the auctioneer. And I think I should make clear that the auctioneer is a role that passes around the table. The lads and lasses can each take their turn, and it's nice. So they've each got their 3 white dice, the 3 white dice that's singular, to take turns doing the thing, so you're figuring out who gets the money. That's another thing included. It's sort of funny. It's little tiny cardboard paper money replica pieces. Yeah, and that ceases to be the talk about the stuff. I think that's enough. Let's talk about a summary of the gameplay so we can get to it on the same day. That's right, enough of that stuff. Each player starts with 24 bucks. Now the auctioneer, or the first one, rolls 3 white dice, and the sum, that is the total of the 3 white dice, will tell you the item that will rise up for bid. So there is 18 items. If you see this picture that I'll probably post later, then you'll have spied them. That's I guess 16 technically, because it's from 3 to 18, and they've seen that I can do math. Alright, subtraction. It's hard to do a mental abstraction, but you're trying to also do a rap one. But so there's these items for 3d6. You know, it's not a difficult trick. You roll the dice, you sum up the total, and then you know no vote will do it. You gotta just take the item that you rolled and put it in the center. Yup, and then it's the paying phase that you enter. Now each player rolls their own 2d6. And then, here's the trick, they can each re-roll one of those dice, that's one or the other, to change the price. You get to re-roll 1 die, and when that's done, then I will tell you that the highest total dice gets the first option to buy at that price. So like, if there's 4 of us, and you roll a 6, I've got a 7, and my friend's got an 8, then great. He gets to go first. He's got that price, he can pay or be cursed. Now if they pass and don't want to pay, then the next highest gets their turn to say. And when someone decides that's fair, they take their money that's over there and they pay the bank, the price showing on their dice, and they get the item. That's nice. And that's all there is to a turn at the beginning. Now if an item you're winning, then the next auctioneer gets past the white dice. They roll 3d6, and if it's unowned item like before, it's the same thing that happened, just more and more. But if the item is rolled, is already owned by another person, that's where it gets more interesting. It's the best thing. Here's the thing that will happen investing. First thing that happens, in a dash, you're gonna get paid some instant cash, as indicated on the spaces by how many items are not in those places. So at the beginning, you can't be a hero, no one owns anything, the amount is 0, but late in the game, with a lot of items gone, the amount of monies will be moving on. Now the second thing you have to know is that the owner of the item doesn't roll. So everyone else rolls their 2d6 like before, but the owner of the item can't score a purchase of his own item. That would fail, because he's the one who's got the item up for sale. And then it goes just like explained previously. Believe in me that the winner, whoever decides to pay when it goes around, just like normal play, whoever starting at the top has the price that they decide to choose, will get to use their money not to pay the bank, but the owner will be thanking them for that cash infusion. So I hope that doesn't cause any confusion. Basically, if you're buying an item that's not owned, you pay the bank. If you're buying an owned item, then the owner gets to fill their cash tank. Alright? Now that's pretty much it. Now you play until someone gets 45, and it really shouldn't take that long. You'd survive, because you're already halfway there when you begin. You start with 24, you need 45 to win. I think that's really all I need to tell you. Let's move on from the gameplay summary to the review. So let's see, what can I say? I'd say this game is fast to learn and to play. I went to a gaming group, and it was very easy to recoup my investment of time, even more so than this rhyme. I would say that I'm confident it can be quickly learned, so the time investment will be fairly earned, because the people will say, that's easy. This game is just a summer breezy. You roll dice, re-roll one, bid on an item or not, and it's fun, and it's obviously a game that's not complicated. That's right. I would say it's the kind of game you play as a filler. It's not complex, just vanilla. But it's good to start off your game night, especially if someone's late, because I hate to be the person who walks in, 20 minutes late and you stopped in, but it's too late because they started a 3-hour Civ game and you give blame to them. No, it's your fault because you couldn't show up on time. But I think that I'm even happier avoiding that whole situation if you've got a game that avoids frustration, and this is just the game for that type of occurrence. So if you don't want a game that requires endurance, let me give you my assurance that this game is fine for that. And I should also mention that when you re-roll one die, I thought that I would be stuck, but it actually adds a surprising amount of not luck. That is to say, I was initially worried that when I played this game, I would be hurried through and say, oh, it's just whoever rolls the best on their 2d6 wins. But I begin to change my opinion after a couple of plays, because changing one die really okays the game. I mean, it makes it much more of a choice. You've got more skill you can voice, more opportunity, so you can be a person who is soon to see a way that your decisions with precision can put you in your game-winning vision. Now, there's some downsides too, and obviously I want to share with you. There's the fact that even with that one die change, obviously I would be strange if I didn't tell you the game is still highly luck-based. And you can get stuck. There's the kind of thing that can happen, but it's not a negative necessarily. There it be a thing that I want to say, you don't need to play an epic game every day. I don't think it's bad for a game to be a light filler. Some people like that thriller. Not my personal favorite, but I know many people really will savor it. So if you enjoy that dice rolling thing, this is a game that you still might want to bring. But is it all positive? It ain't. I really have to voice a specific complaint. All that paper money or the cardboard rather, that I said was really funny, it's tiny. It's very small, and I'd say the worst thing of all is that the denominations sort of look the same, which is an abomination for your game. It's difficult to sort, and anyone in the future, I would really exhort to try to just use, coins like 5s and 1s. And look, I understand what they've done. They want to make it seem like you're going to a flea market, fitting the theme, but here it would seem that I think doing that's not worth the cost if the ability to tell money apart is lost. And look, I understand that though they look the same, they're not really to blame because, U.S. currency does that. That's where it's seen. All the paper money is green and it looks very similar. Looks quite alike. So, but I would take a hike. I would say, I must relent, but I want a game designer to be better than the US government when it comes to creating usability. That's right, it's an exercise in futility. Really, we gotta find something that we can do. But I say on the menu, I just have to be wishing the government's not known for efficiency, so if you have the chance to design your cache, make it easily tell-apartable in the stash. That's all I'm saying. That's my biggest dislike of the game. That's the thing that bothered me the most, and the thing that I think I would probably post as the why did they make this decision? One that I would greet with derision. Otherwise, what else can I tell you? It's a pretty standard light filler. Very easy to catch on, learn, and play. As I said, won't take most of the day. Fairly fast. Some people will enjoy it. I can't deploy it on the table, or I did rather, easily to deploy at the beginning of a game night. Would I want to get in the same fight? Probably not. So it's not going to be my top game anytime soon, but it's one that I think many people will enjoy, the quick tune of giving it a go at the beginning of the game night or evening. And with that thought, I will be leaving you. So thanks for tuning in to Rapping Reviews. Eventually number 4 will come through, but meanwhile, I'll keep dropping the rap bombs. You can visit my site, risingpun.com, or just find me on BGG. Thanks very much for tuning in to me and the summer breeze. Rap with ease. I enjoy eating cheese. I don't have a dog.